Hello folks, welcome back to the channel. Hadn't done a video in a while. You know, a lot going on. Our current situation nationwide, worldwide, everybody kind of locked down, closed up. So I thought I'd try to get in here and do a little video, give everybody something to look at, get their mind off the news. So I thought, you know, talking about plagues and stuff like that, you know, it's not the first time the United States has had a plague. One time's when when we ended up with these. Terminator by Synsonics. So this is one that I've had in an earlier video that I said we'd get to and see what it was all about. So we're going to look at it today and see what, and I don't know anything about it. All I know is I think Mattel, Hot Wheels, whatever, had something like this. Grinch ended up buying them. That's what I get from it. Don't know, they're mid-'80s, early 80s, sometime around there. I don't really know anything about one, so I thought we would get in here and see what was in it. So if that's something you're interested in, just hang around and we'll see what we can do. Okay, I guess the first thing to do with this thing, it's already missing the bottom E string and the D string, but to go ahead and get these other strings off, and this thing is extremely, extremely dirty, but we're not going to worry about that right now. We'll get to that once we get these strings off, get kind of into it and see what. If anybody has ever, you know, if you have one of these or you've had one of them or know something about it, you know, put it in the comments, because I don't know anything about them. I'd never seen one till this one came along. So I wasn't sure about it. I wasn't sure anything about them. I know they got like an onboard built-in amp. Maybe I said that right. So I don't know. We'll get in it and see. And it was tuned to, I have no idea what. Tight. Let's go ahead and cut these. And I have no idea what that's about either. Here we go. They appear to use the same type of bridge, kind of type tremolo deal as like some of your, 60s Japanese style guitars. You know, I had that Korean 3/4 scale, which this is actually 3/4 scale as well. It had something similar to this, I think. I believe it did. Now it may have been another one. Maybe it was may have been the Kyle that I had. But this is your typical bridge these things have. Keep rasping these old rusty strings. Somebody's actually tried to tie the strings. Let me get my glasses on. Okay, that's the strings off. Bolt on neck. That's the bridge. We'll get that out of the way. A bolt on neck, but it doesn't have a truss rod, apparently, because there's no adjustment at the headstock or as far as I can tell, there's nothing down here. For the ease of things, let me take this neck off so it'll be out of the way, so we can get into the high-tech electronics this thing has. And it takes, I don't know what size battery, a C or something battery. I don't have any. I don't think. But the doors broke off. I really don't, I'm not like really all about about restoring the thing by, you know, or nothing, but I would just like to see what they came up with. I don't know what kind of price range these sold for. I'm guessing at the time maybe 60 to 100 bucks, I guess. I mean, that's just a guess. Let's support this a little bit while I take this last one out. Okay, inspected by CH. Well, it does have a truss rod at the heel. Well, that's rather interesting. I wouldn't have thought a guitar of this quality would even have had a truss rod. So, find the right size. And it actually works. Okay. The frets have got a lot of machine marks on them. I mean, major machine marks. I mean, like the edge of a dime or something. I mean, it's extremely rough on the machine, you know, on that. Plastic nut. Typical little cheapo tuners. Made in Korea. And there's the number. If that does anybody any good, if they're thrilled and interested in owning one of these or knowing about them. But these were, you know, of course, geared toward probably kids, you know, probably 12 to 16 or 18, I don't know, something like that. I don't even know where to start. Okay, we got 2 volumes and a tone. And the tone was stuck. It's moving now. And this little switch, and I hope everybody can see this. We've got 2 outputs. I'm guessing maybe a headphone jack or a, you know, I'm guessing maybe. We'll just have to see when we get in here. And I'm not exactly an electronics expert, so we may not know no more than we do. I may be totally dependent on everybody else to tell me what's going on with this thing. You know, I know we're in a bad situation, which, I mean, if you look at this video a long time from now, you may not understand what I'm talking about, but, you know, being as it's March of 2020, I'm sure if I say that, anybody that's watching this in the future will say, oh yeah, okay. But, you know, as bad as things are, this is a good opportunity. You might try to make the best out of a bad situation. But if you've got an old guitar in the closet or down in the basement or whatever, you know, now's a good time to get it out and clean it up. Maybe order you some strings and whatever online. If you don't know how to restring one, get online, learn how to restring. You you know, make the best of a bad situation. Get out and get it out and play it, or order you a cheap guitar off Amazon and have it delivered. And, you know, do something besides watch the news. Watch the news enough to keep up with it, but not enough to make you pull your hair out, which I can't. I'm not going to do that. Little bit of dirt, little bit of dirt in the cavity. Okay, here we go. It's got a circuit board. Synsonics Electronics. So that pretty much leaves me at a loss, because I don't know anything about, very little about printed circuit boards. I mean, I'm pretty much a point-to-point type person, just old school. And I don't even see how the thing comes out. Let's take the knobs off. Take this little nut loose and just see if by taking that out, it lets that circuit board come out. And this thing is very not clean. I bet these knobs have never been off. Okay, volume, tone. Forget that. Okay. Wrong. I may be making a bad mistake with this. I may be getting the pots loose behind the circuit board, but we'll see. It ain't like all is lost. If it never plays, it's not like it's a huge loss. Okay, it almost acts like that. It's some kind of, this looks like just straight up particle board this body's made out of. I mean, it's not even plywood. It's just straight up particle board. Oh boy. That's going to work. So, maybe. Maybe. Spider webs. Okay. So I was right. That did release it. So if you have to change a pot on this thing, you could really be into a little bit of work, or skill, should I say. So that'd probably leave me out. But I mean, it looks like it's all there, and okay, there's your wires coming up from, and I hope everybody can see. Let me look. Yeah, maybe everybody can see. Let me move this thing a little bit. Okay. The wires coming from your battery compartment up here. You got your wires to your output jacks. So the amp part, this is apparently the amp part. You got your power And see, some of these wires, let's see, you're going to have two. There's something here. This goes into the back of the speaker, I imagine. There's nothing better than watching a video with somebody with a squeaky chair, especially if you have headphones on. Yeah, this is going to the back of the speaker. Something keeps, yeah, that's what, the speaker is all loose and okay, let's try taking this front part off. I can't imagine why anybody would have bought one of these at the time over over a square or something of that type, but at that point in time there wasn't a lot of options. Okay, some pieces of the cardboard. The speaker's all intact. But the magnet, there. Okay, the magnet was off the back. But I don't really know what, there was like a gasket or something, it looks like, that was holding it in. Maybe it was in there, the magnet was just, I don't know. But that's a look at the speaker. So I'm sure that was a jam out rig with that. I'm sure it was. And I may put that, I don't know, all this needs to be cleaned. Let me get this cleaned up a little bit. I just don't even like touching it. And then I'll come back and we'll take these pickups out and have a look at them. All right, that's not clean, but that is a little better. I went ahead and just took the bridge off. And it's the typical little stamped metal, cheap Tesco style type bridge. Same with the tailpiece tremolo. You know, it's missing the handle, which is all just as well because you can breathe on these things and they'll go out of tune. So that's that. The pickups, I'm wondering, are they even standard size? They're close to it, close to standard size. But they have a surround, you know, similar to like a humbucker would have. And I'm going to have a million little screws, so I got to figure out which one goes where. So I have no clue about these, besides I'd say they're probably extremely harmonic. Okay. All right. Well, that's kind of interesting because I had this one here that came out of the Epiphone Strat style S310 that's got the steel plate on the bottom. Funny how they're so similar. This one's actually bigger on the bottom. Single wire. I'm sure this is the same thing. Same thing. So I'm going to go ahead and clean around these things, put them back in, and we'll get set up and we'll check the resistance on them and see what they are. All right, I got it cleaned up and got the pickup set back down in there. But I've just about let this thing over the speaker whip me. Those things are not drilled equally, and I've circled and turned it, and I've not got it right yet, and I'm about to lose patience with it, so we'll come back to that. Okay. What I'm going to try to do is I was going to check the resistance of the pickups. And of course, everything is not ready. And I'm just going to guess on this jack. If that's not it, we'll try another one. Okay. Well, my switch is... See, that ain't going to work until I get the... All good leg plans go... Okay. I'm about to put this circuit board in because I'm going to turn the volume all the way down on one and all the way up on the other one. I was thinking about a switch like a regular guitar, which this is not a regular guitar. So, okay, let me get my thoughts together and we shall return. Okay, I got the speaker finally put back in. It still wouldn't fit tight, so I stuck a little piece of foam from a set of pickup packaging that I had in here, which shoved the speaker up here against the grill, which isn't right, but just to keep it from flopping around right now, because I'm not sure what I'm even going to do with this thing. But while I've got the pots where I can see them and got the board out, we're going to give them a shot of cleaner, you know, while we can get to them, because as dirty as everything else is, oh yeah, man, that thing is freeing up. It's turning easy now. Just a little more for good measure. But this one's really gritty feeling, really stiff. While we can get to it is the time to do it. That way we don't have to try to put it down through the top, which is hard. You don't really get, I don't know that you get that much in there that way. I'd rather just spray it in the side right directly in. Well, that one feels terrible. I just don't know how good these are going to be, how good they were to start with. I'm probably right in front of the camera. Probably can't see nothing but my bald head. I've kind of got put on the stop on my shop, then I'll have a lot better deal out there. But with all this stuff that's going on, I'm not fixing to go to Home Depot and start looking around for something that I don't have to have. Just because I feel healthy, but so does a lot of people that have this stuff until this apparently had, they each apparently had 2 on there. But maybe when all this gets out of the way, I can get back to working on my shop. And this may be the... This is more of a toy than this is a toy shaped, or a guitar shaped toy rather. And I'm not much on working on toys. Okay. All right. Rusty. Maybe it's who Gibson copied on their circuit boards they've got in their new guitars. Maybe they copied the Terminator, Synsonics, on their electronics. Okay, we got extra parts left. We got 2 washers. That's all right. Come on now. All right. Not the proper tool. Okay, let me tighten this up with something. Find a little deep well socket or something. Anyway, tighten this up. There we go. All right. Okay. Now we're back to where we were. Okay. This should be the neck with the wide open. So we'll see. See what we got with it. 3.5, 3.4. Make sure my tone's all the way up. Okay. 3.5. Now let me switch this. Switch. I don't think it's going to matter. No, it doesn't matter. That switch is something over here. That's not, but I just wanted to make sure. Then if you turn them both up, .5, 3.4. So, okay, that's what we got. So that's kind of what you got with this thing. You've got a little circuit board that acts as an amplifier. Also, your controls partially your tone and your volumes and everything to a point. And this is, like I say, is a part of what we used to call masonite when I was a kid. Masonite. It's like a particle board. And if it ever gets wet, it swells up and comes all to pieces. So that was very cheap there. So that's kind of what you got with one of these. I don't have any batteries to put in this thing. It uses 2 square volt 9 batteries, and without taking them out of my smoke detectors, I don't think I've got any, and I'm not going to do that. If we go to fix this thing, I'll find some. So this is what I've got with it. Like I say, we got the tuners appear to all be working cheaply, rattly, junky. But hey, man, if I was a kid back in the 80s or something, and I went in a store, and I don't know exactly where these were sold, but if I went in Woolworth or Sears or somewhere, man, and this thing was brand new hanging on the wall, you talk about doing some begging and crying, man. I'd think I'd be dreaming of this thing. So I'm not going to criticize, man. If I was a kid, had something like this, that's a look at it. That's what it's all about. We're in it this far. Let's see if it makes noise. Nope. No, it's not doing anything, I don't think. Wait a minute. I did get just a little bit of something there one time. Nope. For whatever reason, and I may be in the wrong jack. Let me. Oh, there we go. All right. Okay. We got sound. All right. Well, that's about what we got with it. So, you know, this has been a good way to waste 30 minutes of your time. But hey, what else we gonna do? You know? What else we gonna do? You know, we got what we got going on. What else we gonna do? I appreciate everybody that's subscribing to the channel. I mean, I greatly appreciate that. You know, the comments, everything, really, really are, you know, good. If you haven't subscribed, consider it. You know, I'm not out to make money, and I'm not out to sell you a Harley Benton. But what I I would like to get more subscribers because that helps me. That gets YouTube. They pay more attention to me, and it gets my videos out there to more people. Well, I don't know if that's good or bad, but I hope it's good. But I can get videos out to more people. So, I promise if you subscribe, you'll get just what you pay for with it. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. But if you give me a thumbs down, tell me why. That means a whole lot. That way I can make this even a better production. And, if you want to see this thing finished, leave that in the comments. And if I get enough people, I hate to waste a set of strings on this thing, but I will put it together and see what it plays like. See if the speaker thing part works or whatnot. It probably doesn't, given that it don't have any batteries. That's right. Okay, you can tell I've been home alone too long. So I'm going to cut this off here, not make it any longer. Got more interesting stuff coming up, something a little more serious next time maybe, something a little better. But I thought that was just interesting, just to look at something like that. And like I said, if anybody out there has one of these or had one or wants one, just let me know in the comments. And until the next time, see you.